Tyler Buchner has committed to Alabama. Crazy conversation we're having right now, but that's the reality. The question was going into this whole situation with Tyler Buchner was, does he have an offer? Is he going to be our starting quarterback? Turns out he does have an offer, and I was told if he were to have an offer, 100% he's taking it. Okay, so Florida was in the mix, in my mind at least. I don't know if that ever was a reality. Auburn, based on the Twitterverse and different rumors and rumblings, was in the mix. But here's the thing. There is no better situation for a quarterback, if you're a transfer quarterback, than Alabama. Auburn schematically would have made some sense. Florida could have made some sense if you wanted to have a chance and maybe have a better chance to start. But the reality is that Alabama, that thing is ready-made for you to be successful, okay? Because you have a lot of talent around you. The receiving room is superior to either of those places I just named, even though it's not to what people really have become accustomed to with Tyler Buchner at Alabama. With Alabama, even though it's not Devontae Smith, it's not Jalen Waddle. You still have some dudes in that receiving room. So whoever plays quarterback is taking over a ready-made offense, a ready-made football team. So here's what I think this message is to the rest of the quarterback room. I'm imagining Tommy Rees walking in there after the spring game, maybe it was a couple days after, sits those guys down and says, do you think I'm playing with you? We keep saying we need to be better at the quarterback position and nobody's separated yet. Do you think I'm not going to go out and get somebody? Do you think that I'm going to just sit here and let this whole situation unfold and wait? Tommy Rees is saying, I mean business right now by going out and getting Tyler Buchner, a guy he's familiar with. What a big-time move by Tommy Rees. Now, here's what I would also say. A lot of people now are saying, well, is Tyler Buchner going to start at Alabama? Tyler Buchner, QB1 at Alabama? That's kind of the question around all this, right? Here's what I would say to that. I have a very hard time believing that Tyler Buchner was promised anything when he committed to Nick Saban and when he committed to Tommy Rees. I think all he was promised was a chance to compete. Nick Saban, he doesn't do handouts. You know that, and I know that. If Tyler Buchner ends up being your starting quarterback, it will be because he won the job outright. So the worst case scenario here is maybe you lose somebody, right? Maybe somebody ends up transferring out. And really, is that the worst case, that you lost somebody because competition scared them away? I don't think so. So that's the first part. The worst case isn't really the worst case. The best case here is everybody's play gets elevated, which I think is what's going to happen. I think Jalen Milroe sees that and says, all right, I'm going to kick it up a notch. Maybe I'll watch a little bit more film. Maybe I'll get out there and throw a little bit more extra routes. I think everybody's game is now getting upped by nature of the competition that Tyler Buchner brings to that quarterback room. So here's my real question, though, when it comes to Tyler Buchner potentially starting for Alabama. Can he win the locker room? And can he do it in a 4-month span? Because that's really what he's working with right now. He'll have May, June, July, August. See that math there? 4 months. Greg McElroy joined the show, I want to say it was somewhere in the range of 2 weeks ago. And we asked him, hey, listen, how is Nick Saban going to pick a starting quarterback? How do you even go about doing that? And the reality is, a lot of it has to do with the it factor. Like, let's start right here. You have to have the field ability. You have to be able to do it on the field. That's the first part. You have to be able to perform when your number is called. Like, that's the price of admission. But to take it a step further, what separates you is, do you have the it factor, what Greg McElroy described as the gravitational pull? Is the team attracted to you when the game's on the line, it's 4th and 1, and we got to pick up a first down? Is the team getting behind you to make what they want to make happen, if that makes sense? Are you the leader? Like, let's not beat around the bush. Are you the leader in that locker room? Are you the guy? That's a big deal at Alabama. And so the issue now is Jalen Milroe had a lot of time to do that. Ty Simpson has had a lot of time to do that. And it sounds like they both have the support of the locker room. I'm not saying Tyler Buchner won't do it, but I'm saying the sense of urgency for him to do that is immense, and the time that he has to do that is pretty limited. So summer conditioning will be huge for him. Fall camp will be huge for him. If he can win over that locker room, then I think there's a real conversation around him being your starting quarterback. So some people are going to be concerned because the sample size is pretty small around Tyler Buchner. Myself being one of them, I was looking at this situation and saying, if he does commit to Bama, is he really worlds better than Jalen Milroe? Does he really give you a much better chance than a Ty Simpson? Is he substantially better than what we saw from Dylan Lonergan in the spring game? The reality is I don't know. But the bet here is by Tommy Rees saying, this is the guy that I trust. This is the guy that I'm familiar with. He's familiar with what we do. Let's roll. Let's roll. This is a Tommy Rees bet, 1,000%. But if you're concerned about what he has from an ability standpoint, maybe it's pushing the ball vertically or whatever it ends up being, what I think you should be encouraged by is you're not asking Tyler Buchner to be Bryce Young. You're not asking Tyler Buchner to go out there and just put the team on his back, run around, play backyard football, find the open receiver to keep your team alive. That might have been what the approach was a season ago under the old OC and with Bryce Young at quarterback. Can you blame him having Superman at quarterback? You let him work. This is going to be a lot more old school Alabama. And we talked about it on a previous one-off video, but Alabama is going to be much more bully ball. We control the line of scrimmage. RPO is nice. We'll have some of that in there, but we're going to be run the ball down your throat until you stop it kind of operation. And when you try to commit more resources to stopping the run, when you tell those safeties, hey, we got to go fill in run support because Justice Haynes is giving us the work right now, then Tyler Buchner's arm strength, then what he does vertically, that's where it really comes into play. Can you hit the open shot? I said it yesterday. Same thing is true with Tyler Buchner. But if you're concerned about him having like the it factor, the star factor, I don't think you're asking him to do that. I think you're saying much more J.J. McCarthy and much less Bryce Young for what's required to be successful in 2023. But Tyler Buchner is committed to the Alabama Crimson Tide, man. How about that? Tommy Rees has got his guy. The competition knob has been turned all the way up with Ty Simpson, Jalen Murrow, and now Tyler Buchner. Get into that quarterback room. It is going to be an absolute QB derby in Tuscaloosa, and I cannot wait to see it. Tyler Buchner headed to Tuscaloosa. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.